Hello, my name is Catherine Carter, and this is my presentation on using technology to increase phonics skills and comprehension for underprivileged children. What I have noticed with my students over the years, and especially this year, is that those students who are economically disadvantaged do not have access outside of school to use things like computers and tablets and even smartphones. These are also my students that are very low performing, especially in the area of language arts and reading. So the reason that I chose this topic was to see what is it that we can do for these students to give them more access outside of school to the new technologies. When my students are outside of the school building each day, there are those that only have access to literature through library books that they check out of school. Um, Sometimes their parents will take them to the public library, but even then, access to technology is not always available depending on the number of computers and things that are available at the public library. Therefore, these students may not be reading as voraciously as other students in my classroom who have those technological devices. There are many advantages and disadvantages to using technology. However, it is extremely important for underprivileged children for them to be able to increase their phonics skills and comprehension. First and foremost, it provides a means for them to communicate. They are always engaged when they're using technology. They enjoy using the technology, and it's also an excellent way um, to differentiate what each student does using the technology. As far as the disadvantages, sometimes, and I've noticed this in my school, sometimes we have server problems or technical problems where the internet's just not working so fast. For other students, it can be distracting if they're not one of the ones that's on the computer. And you will find those teachers that are not confident enough and don't have the knowledge of a particular program or how to do something using the technology. And of course, there's always the cost. Laptops, iPads, no matter what it is, there's always a cost involved. All of the countries that I read about all had the priority of literacy and the use of technology and had implemented programs or things to go into effect to increase the number of technological devices that were in classrooms, to improve the internet access within classrooms, and to increase students' use of programs and apps using different technologies. The one thing that I found very interesting was that Finland gives teachers paid time off for professional learning to develop instructional uses for this new technology. Ireland and Australia also have initiatives in place to increase the numbers of technological devices available to students in the schools and how they can be used to improve literacy. One of the biggest questions that we ask in today's educational world is how we can differentiate instruction through the use of technology. On this slide, you will see a list of websites that can be used to differentiate reading comprehension, and you'll also see a list of apps um, that can address reading comprehension needs. I was very disappointed in the apps because there really are no free ones out there that will give you everything. So one thing that we can do is maybe someone can develop apps that are free that can address all of these needs of our students. On this slide, what you will see is some websites that can be used to differentiate phonics instruction. All of the websites require some type of registration and fee to be used. However, I know that there are some schools that have invested in these programs, um, enabling students to be able to get on them both in school and out of school. Apps that I found for phonics were much better than those that I found for reading comprehension because there were so many more that were free. Another big question that we ask is, what can we do for students outside of school who don't have access to technology? Rockdale County Public Schools in Georgia has tried to alleviate this problem by issuing students in grades 4 through 12 a laptop that they can use both in school and out of school. On the right-hand side of this slide, you will see pictures of the one that my son, who is in 11th grade, was issued in September. It is it's a smaller one, but it is touchscreen. It has internet capabilities. It's really a nice little piece of equipment. My 4th grade child, who was in a special needs self-contained class, was also issued one, and therefore he's able to have access to programs and things outside of school. And he really likes using his laptop more than our regular computer that we have at home. Watch the video on the left side of your screen to learn more about it.
The students of today were born into a 21st century world where the skills they need to succeed in school and the workplace have changed dramatically. Today, colleges and employers value students who can think critically and use the tools of today to communicate their ideas in creative ways. With this in mind, Rockdale County Public Schools has launched Learning Reimagined, a comprehensive initiative to transform teaching and learning in our schools. This initiative is the result of years of planning at all levels in our district, and the exciting transformation has already begun. As part of Learning Reimagined, students in grades 4 through 12 will be provided with an individual Microsoft Windows touchscreen laptop, or have access to an appropriate device to enhance learning. Pre-K through 3rd grade classrooms each have a set of iPads issued for student use. These devices are built for educational use with a rugged exterior and spill-resistant keyboard. High school students will be issued these laptops at the beginning of the 2015-16 school year, and students in grades 4 through 8 will be issued their laptops at the start of the 2016-17 school year. These devices will expand learning for students beyond the four walls of the classroom and will allow teachers to deliver digital age instruction that will prepare students for college and the workforce. It will also allow teachers to personalize instruction for each student so they can address their unique needs and strengths. For those students who will receive a take-home device, there are a few important things they and their parents need to know. Students will be using various online tools and resources to collaborate and communicate with their teachers and classmates, including a learning management platform that will be used by all students and teachers. It is also important to know that every laptop comes with a filtering system that protects students from inappropriate sites and blocks them from social media outlets. The filtering system is in place 24 hours a day, whether the student is using the laptop at school, at home, or even Starbucks. The laptop is also equipped with a tracking system, allowing it to be located if lost or stolen. For those students who will receive a take-home laptop, they, along with their parents, must sign a checkout agreement. The agreement states that both parents and students understand that the device is the property of Rockdale County Public Schools and must be returned at the end of each school year. The laptop, its hardware equipment, and all software cannot be bypassed, altered, or copied. Use of the device for purposes other than those assigned by the schools is strictly prohibited, and the district does not permit the unethical use of the internet, email, or other media. If students do not follow these rules, they can lose laptop privileges and face disciplinary action under the Rockdale County Public Schools Student Code of Conduct. Lastly, parents and guardians must also accept financial responsibility for damages caused by negligence or purposeful action. Students and parents can help keep the laptop in proper working order by following a few simple rules. When not in use, always keep the laptop in a protective carrying case. Avoid placing items such as pens and pencils inside the laptop, which can result in a cracked screen. The laptop should be kept away from food and drinks and should never be left unattended, especially in a car where it can overheat. The laptop should only be carried with the lid closed. And most importantly, students should charge the laptop overnight so it is at full capacity for the next school day. Protecting the laptop from harm is important, but even more important is protecting our students from harm. That's why every student who receives a device will also receive instructions and lessons on cyber safety and digital citizenship. We want all children to learn to be good citizens in both the real world and the digital world. Colleges and employers check the social media postings of applicants. It is crucial that we work together to ensure students are being responsible digital citizens and representing themselves well in the digital landscape. To help, Rockdale County Public Schools has created a Learning Reimagined webpage that is full of resources and tools for parents, teachers, and even students. This information can be found on the district's website. We are very proud of the immense possibilities that will be opened through Learning Reimagined as we transform teaching and learning in Rockdale County Public Schools.
Even with a one-to-one laptop initiative, internet access at home can still be a problem. Therefore, what Rockdale County Public Schools did is they gave parents a website that they could go to, and they were able to give them access to this website from school to look at information on how to get very low cost internet service at home. At cheapinternet.com, there's a list of different organizations and companies that offer this low cost internet access. Most of them are from $9.95 a month through $14.95 a month. Parents may not want to or may not be able to invest in that. So other options are still taking your child to the public library where there is Wi-Fi available. Also, why not go to Starbucks, Wendy's, and McDonald's where they have Wi-Fi? Another option would be for schools to offer something like Technology Tuesdays, Web Wednesdays, or Surfing Saturdays, where parents could come in with their children and let their children get on the computers and laptops at school and see exactly what they're using them for and to see how valuable they can be. So, the burning question, how can technology improve phonics comprehension and even writing for our lower SES students? Well, we've already talked about how it increases student engagement. There's so many opportunities for them to practice and review skills and even preview skills that have yet to be introduced in class. As far as writing goes, for students like my fourth grade student who do not like to write with pencil and paper, there's so many different programs and things out there that students can use. Even just typing it on a computer gives them um, a feeling of achievement to see what they have worked on and how their words can come out on paper. For students with disabilities, there's speech to text programs where they can speak what they want to say and it comes out on the screen. And boy, let me tell you, when they see it printed out, they are absolutely amazed at what they have accomplished. On this slide, you will find some other resources and strategies that can be used when integrating technology with reading and writing. Of course, there's text reading software, there's word prediction software, writing templates, and I think one of the most important things that any teacher can do in any subject area is to give interest inventories to students. Learn what they like. If we can integrate something that a student is interested in into our curriculum, we are more than likely going to keep that student engaged, and that student is going to want to produce things for us. Here you will find a table that I got from a resource by Castellani and Jeffs that shows some activities and resources integrating the internet that can be used for reading and writing. Again, I know sometimes it seems like we are overwhelmed with ideas and resources, but as teachers, with our interest in making sure that every student succeeds to his or her best ability, I think it's important that we look at these ideas to try to figure out which ones our students will benefit from most. In closing, I think it's important that we ask ourselves some other questions to make sure that we use technology integration um, the best way that we can. Do we have all the answers when it comes to technology integration as far as increasing phonics skills and comprehension with our underprivileged students? No, we don't. However, as new ICTs become available, we definitely have to look at those and see if we can integrate those into our programs so that especially those underprivileged children can benefit from them the most. Is there a one-size-fits-all program that's going to solve all of our problems in the world? No, there isn't. And believe me, when I find one, I'm going to be very rich, and I promise you that there will be no child left behind. So, questions to leave you thinking. What can we do as educators in schools to help our lower SES students achieve? And what can we do to make sure our entire school community is technologically rich, engaging, and productive so that our students will be the most successful